Both of these entire scenes were shot using just 2 lights and a cheap fabric. And lighting car scenes, especially at nighttime, used to really freak me out, because if you've ever lit a car scene, you know the pain. There can be reflections everywhere, there's not enough space, there's not enough power, and everything just ends up looking like a bad student film if you don't have a massive truckload of gear. And I didn't have any of that. All I had was a car, a couple lights, a couple pieces of fabric, but honestly, this setup worked a lot better than I expected. So here's what we did. First, we used a big piece of bleached muslin, which is a fabric you can get at any fabric store, and it's used very often in filmmaking. Some of the best cinematographers, like Roger Deakins and a bunch of other cinematographers in Hollywood, love to use bleached and unbleached muslin because it's known to give a really nice, soft, pleasant, and natural looking light on the face. And it's also very versatile because you can either bounce the light into it or you can shoot a light through it for diffusion. And so we just clipped that piece of bleached muslin onto 2 light stands. But if you want to do this the professional way, people will tell you need a 12x12 breakdown frame, a bunch of combo stands, a proper muslin material from a film store, and already that's racking up thousands of dollars. And honestly, it does not really make any difference. And that's why we did it the cheap and effective way, and already we have a huge 12x12 piece of bleached muslin right in front of the car. Then all we did was bounce, in this case, a Nova P600 right into the muslin, and this created a big, beautiful, soft light on their faces. But if you don't have a big, powerful light like this Nova P600, it doesn't matter, because this light was only set to 2%, and so at that rate, really any light would work. But if you want the softest bounce, I would recommend a panel style light like the P600, or there's also the F21C or any matte styled light, because the softer the light you bounce into the muslin, the softer light you're gonna get out of the muslin. And because this light is outside the car, you keep all the interior space clean, and you can even fit a camera inside the car now, which is exactly what we did for this second scene, where we used the same lighting setup, but just tweaked the color temperature of the lights a little bit, and we'll get into that soon. But before we get into all the color temperature stuff, there's still that second light that we used, and that light is actually the same light that's lighting me right now, which is the Intelitech LC120, which is pretty much just like a light mat. And so in each setup, we use that light just as an edge light on either side of the car. But now let's get into color temperature. So in the first scene, we set the camera to 4200 Kelvin, and then we set both the lights to 3200 Kelvin, both the light mat and the P600. And this created a warm look, but without being too warm, because the camera and the light were only 1000 Kelvin apart. But in the second setup, the camera was set to 5600 Kelvin, and so was the Nova P600 that was bouncing off the muslin. And this created a very neutral look to the key light on their faces. But the light mat was set to 3200 Kelvin, and so now we have a 2400 Kelvin difference between the camera and the light mat, which makes the edge light look a lot warmer. The other big benefit with this setup is that from switching to close-up to close-up, you pretty much don't have to change a thing. At most, you can just angle the muslin just a tiny bit depending on how much light you want to wrap around their faces. But this setup is so fast and it's so cheap, and it gives you this high-end look even when you're tight on resources. And if you want to see more on how we shot this film, I have the whole behind the scenes on this channel, as well as the full film itself on this channel. And if you have any tricks for your car scenes, let me know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you found this useful.